If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in and around Baltimore, be sure to subscribe below, hit that notification bell so that you can be the first to know about everything that we have going on here in and around Baltimore. I'm Mike Mislinski.
And I'm Kelly Schuett, and we're with the W Home Group, and we love helping you explore in and around Baltimore. We both live here, we were raised here, we love helping you guys connect with all of the wonderful neighborhoods that Baltimore has to offer. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing here in the next 9 days, 90 days, whatever your timeline looks like, we help people just like you every single day. So connect with us, whatever is easy for you, message, email, phone call, text, we're available to you. Today we wanted to give you guys a deep dive into the best schools in the area. Obviously, we can't give our opinion here because everybody's idea of what makes a great school is different. So we're relying on some national sources that you guys might recognize. These include niche.com, Forbes, Better News and World Report, and greaterschools.org. We've looked into all of these and we've come up with a comprehensive idea of different schools that we'd like to highlight in and around Baltimore. So when you're moving here, if public schools are an important factor, these are some great places to start, and we're going to dive into some of the reasons why families choose to love these schools. So let's get started.
U.S. News and World Report took about 220,000 schools across the United States. And guess what? 210 of them are located right here in Maryland. That's public schools.
So today, like I said, we're gonna highlight a couple of these that are in and around the Baltimore area. Obviously, we're not covering all of Maryland, we're just covering the ones that are close to the commutes in and around Baltimore. Maryland students are assessed in English language, arts, and math. It's called a Maryland Comprehensive Assessment Program, and they basically do standardized testing in Maryland. And that's where some of these rankings come into play. And this happens throughout, all the way actually from elementary school through high school. So standardized testing does occur in the public schools in Maryland. Some of these rankings have that. Other ones have parental and student input. There's a lot of different data that goes into these data points that are represented today. So let's get to it.
So the #1 ranked high school in Baltimore and in Maryland is Eastern Technical High School, which I went to Hereford High School and they were a rival of ours. So they are just right north of White Marsh area into Parkville and Towson.
Mike, why don't you tell them who was ranked #3 in Maryland?
Oh boy. Unfortunately, it was Poolesville.
Guess where I went to high school, Mike?
Poolesville.
I went to Poolesville, and Poolesville is actually 2 hours away from here, so it's not super relevant to this. If you're moving into one of the areas that we normally work in, you're probably not going to Poolesville. But if you happen to be from the area and you want an exceptional magnet school that can lead you to a future of tons of success, sitting here next to somebody like Mike, you might want to check out Poolesville High School. It's a magnet program for global ecology where you learn about science, which clearly I'm using a lot in my day-to-day life.
Well, I went to Hereford and we learned to ride tractors.
We're both using everything we learned in high school here to bring you Maryland real estate updates. After Poolesville, Western Tech is ranked #2 for Maryland high schools and Baltimore area high schools. This is one of the most popular schools in Baltimore City. And if you remember, we've talked a lot about how Baltimore City has that school of choice program. So this is a school that a lot of parents will be applying to get their kids into. They have a magnet program and they have a regular program. You can apply to be in one or the other. And there are literally people who coach parents on how to get your child into this school. So it's a great option if you are looking in the city, and that's really the only way that you can go to the school is if you live in Baltimore City proper.
Next up is River Hill High School. And I'm sure you've heard, especially if you've done your own research, that Howard County schools are some of the most sought after in the entire state. Well, River Hill takes the top notch here. And one of the key factors that puts them really ahead of others is that their AP rate, so advanced placement rate, is over 60%. That's pretty high.
So Howard County is nationally ranked as one of the best school systems in the nation. They have 14 high schools. River Hill is number 1 of those 14. So a lot of people will say you can't go wrong with Howard County in general, but if you want to go very right, River Hill is consistently ranked number 1, and the prices of homes in that particular school district definitely reflect it. Carver is actually a magnet school here in Towson that is mainly focused on the arts. This is a very competitive program, and if you live in Baltimore County, you can apply to be in this. So a lot of students who are interested in theater, dance, art, music, they will apply to go to this school. It's nationally ranked because it's one of a kind. There are not that many art schools like this, and there aren't that many schools in Baltimore and in Maryland that offer the amount of AP classes along with a curriculum that's focused solely in the arts. So this is a great program. It's also a school that feeds a lot into MICA, which is one of our art schools and colleges here in Baltimore City.
They also, in fact, do have sports teams and sports programs. So they don't just do arts, they do have sports as well.
So if you want to go to theater and play football, this is a good option for you.
So now if you want to narrow down on just Baltimore County, Towson High School takes the top notch. And this is really just because of the AP participation rate, which is also right around that 60% mark, just like we talked about in the River Hill High School.
People also like Towson because the total minority enrollment is over 40%, so there's a lot of diversity. It's a really convenient school to get to. So, and it also has a magnet program. So you can either try to apply to be there. If they are not full in enrollment, they will allow you to join, but you can also get in there through their magnet program if you're a Baltimore County resident. Obviously, if you live in Towson, this is a school you're going to automatically matriculate to, and one of the reasons why Towson is a very sought-after neighborhood, especially for people who have high school students.
Fun fact about the high school is that it boards right up to Towson University. So you'll be driving right through the university to get to Towson High School.
Polytech is another Baltimore City school. People will always talk about Polytech versus Western. They are the top 2 Baltimore City schools. They're extremely sought after. They both have magnet programs. They both have that school of choice program in play. So if they have availability, you'll be able to get into either of those schools. Polytech is super sought after because of its location. It's right off of the Beltway, really close to Hamden and some of the other neighborhoods we've helped you guys explore, close to Roland Park. So for people who don't necessarily live in the neighborhood that would automatically go there, it's easy for parents to get their kids in and out of the school, which is one of the deciding factors for some families. It also has a great AP program. About 70% of students are enrolled in an AP class, which is, again, going to take away from some of the classes they have to pay for and take in college. The other thing that's great about it is it's a very diverse school, over 40% minority enrollment. There's also over 40% of disadvantaged enrollment, which means that the school gets extra funding that you might not get at another school. So a lot of advantages to the school if you can get in. A lot of people really want that. Something else people don't know if they're not from here: if you get a 4.0 in a Baltimore City school, Johns Hopkins gives you a full ride to their university if you choose it and you apply and you get in. So a lot of people are incentivized to take advantage of these Baltimore City schools, get that 4.0, and then get a full ride to one of the most sought after universities in the U.S.
Imagine getting a full ride to Hopkins. That's pretty incredible.
Especially coming out of a Baltimore City school. I mean, What a story.
Yeah. Now we're going to head back to Howard County, and we're going to talk about Marriott's Ridge High School, and they are ranked number 19 within the state. And again, if you're focused on advanced placement courses, then this is another school that you would be looking for. That 60% mark that we spoke about in some of the other high schools with their AP rate. So again, Howard County, you're going to be paying a little bit higher price for a home in and around these high schools.
So you may have heard that Baltimore is known for its private schools. We have a huge private school scene that is really well attended, really talked about. It's kind of almost comical how much private school plays a role in Baltimore. But the truth is Baltimore is in Maryland, where we have some of the top national schools ranked by multiple different sources right in our backyard. So if you don't want to pay the premium for private school, or you really believe in the public school system, there's so many great options for you. And the beautiful thing about working with an agent here locally is we can search by school district. So if you're really set on one of these schools and you want your kid to be able to go there automatically, we can search by that school system and make sure that any houses that you're looking at actually would be be right in that neighborhood district that you're looking for.
So whether you're looking either now and you want to move to Maryland, or you live in one of the areas within Maryland that you're not really in love with the system that's in place there,
call us, text us, send us an email. We're always here to help. We love talking about solutions for different families, whether you already have kids in the system or you're thinking about that or preparing for the future, or you just want a neighborhood that is sought after because of the school districts. There's so many different ways to put this together. We're always here to help. I'm Kelly Schuett.
And I'm Mike Mislinski, and we're with the W Home Group of Next Step Realty.
We get calls and emails every day from people just like you who are thinking about making the move to Baltimore, Maryland, and we love it. We love sharing all of the amazing things that make Baltimore Charm City.
Whether it's 9 days or 90 days, we're here to make your move to Baltimore as smooth as possible.
You can call, text, or email us anytime. All of the information is below. We're so excited to help you on your journey moving towards Baltimore, Maryland, because we love new neighbors and new friends. Welcome.